Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm running for school board for Helena School District 1. Lately, I've been getting a lot of questions from people about how they can help support the campaign. And so I want to just record a quick video for everyone to go over 3 ways that you can help myself or any other candidate leading up to this school board election. So as a candidate, I have a goal to win a seat, obviously, or I wouldn't be running. I did a little bit of digging into the numbers to make sure that I really fully understood what we can expect a successful candidate to look like on election day. And so depending on what else is on the ballot, we see a swing in the last 3 elections from just over 13,000 votes to just under 20,000 votes or ballots cast. The vote totals for individual candidates that have won the election range from just over 5,000 to just under 10,000. So one of the factors that we just need to be aware of as we think about those ranges is that sometimes we have initiatives on the ballot that draw bigger turnout, and sometimes we have a more competitive race for school board. So the example where we had almost 20,000 votes and where one candidate got almost 10,000 votes was a year when we had a significant ballot initiative that impacted what you pay in taxes or what the tax base is for your home. And there were only 2 people running for 2 seats. And so we saw both high voter turnout and a lot of voters coalescing over the single 2 individuals they had to vote for. They didn't have somebody else to choose. And so we do see that range. I would expect that we're going to probably see relatively lower turnout on this election based on the circumstances around. Now, that could be completely wrong. None of us have had an election in quarantine before. And the winning candidates will get 5,000 or more votes. And so that's my goal, is as I think about how to solve the problem of winning this election, I'm really thinking about how do I get the word out to get 5,000 people to choose to return their ballot and to choose to vote for me as one of their 2 choices for school board. The people who are eligible to vote in this election are, generally speaking, people who live in the pink area of this map. And so we really are focusing our efforts on communications that are getting out and getting in front of individuals who live in that area. So there's 3 things that you can help with or that we can do right now. One is yard signs. We bought a total of 112 yard signs. The purpose for us of yard signs in this campaign, one is to increase name recognition. Whether I submit that ballot or not depends on a lot of things, but when I open my mail-in ballot and I look at those names, recognizing the names on there is actually really important, not just because I'm more likely to vote for somebody whose name I recognize, but I actually am more invested in the election when there's 1 or more people where I say, oh, I know something about this. And so really getting those signs out to increase name recognition is important, and that's part of the reason why it's important to get them with full coverage right now, because the traffic patterns and people's day-to-day lives are so disrupted that having them embedded in neighborhoods is even more important than ever. I think the other important thing about yard signs is it reminds people that there's an election happening. Seeing yard signs for school board in your yard actually might make you pay more attention to the ballot that you received and remember to return it on time. And I don't know about you, but for me and a lot of my colleagues and friends and relatives, we're all having a little bit of an interesting thing about time going on in quarantine. For example, it's really hard for me to believe we're well over a month into this school being closed situation. And so giving ourselves a lot of grace around the idea that we may just need to be reminded that it's time to send that ballot in, and yard signs can be a visual reminder as I'm moving around. Our goal is to get all signs distributed and have relatively even coverage within the district. This is our current distribution and coverage. There's a dot on the map for each of the signs that has been dropped off. They may or may not have been displayed already, but these are all the signs that we've left with people. So you can see we have some pretty good coverage, but we for sure have some places with holes. And so if you live in one of those holes, or if you have friends or families or colleagues that live in a place where we don't have as good of coverage, we would love to drop off a sign. So we know that some areas you're not able to put up signs. totally understand that. If that applies to you and you can think of somebody who you might be able to talk to about putting up a sign, that's incredibly appreciated. Number two, people can write statements of support. So a statement of support definitely helps us with visibility around our messaging, not just name recognition. It also helps with name recognition, but that visibility of the message itself. It's not just this person's running for office, but this is why I plan to vote for them. And so it gives people that ability to kind of continue to connect with why that candidate might be the candidate for me. By having people write statements of support, they can be published in public places, either via social media or traditional media. It really expands that network of personal connections. I might know 5,000 people in Helena that I could say hello to on the street. I don't know, I've never counted. Probably not though. But between myself and the people that I'm connected to and the people they're personally connected to, we can get a lot closer to that number of 5,000 people. And so thinking about whether or not you have background or experience with me that would allow you to write a statement of support that speaks to why I might be the right choice for voters, that's incredibly valuable. And I think also this, like, last but not least, somebody other than a candidate telling me why they're great means a lot to me. Candidates are great at telling us why they're wonderful. That's part of what it means to be a candidate. I want to hear from the other people around them about why they're great, not just from them. And so by writing statements of support, you're able to give that authenticity to the message and essentially confirmation that what I might be saying about myself is something other people have experienced. My goal is to find 10 people that are willing to write statements of support that kind of speak to the range of qualifications somebody might be looking for and how my background lends itself to that. There's lots of resources out there about how to write a statement of support. This is one that I found that's like just a cute graphic organizer. Asks you to think about what your opinion on the candidate is, why that's your opinion, and how that matters, or the details that are supporting your opinion. It encourages you to consider your audience and your personality. So if you're writing a statement of support because you're a knowledgeable person, you want to make sure that that's coming across in your messaging. And so this website also provided a filled out one about what one person used to do theirs and the statement of support that they ended up writing. So I think if you're interested in that, I can help you with that. I can provide you resources, but I'd love to get some of those statements out into the community. And the third thing is to share and reshare. Social media is an incredible tool. It, again, allows us to make that message more visible. It increases name recognition. Even if people don't engage in the content that you reshare, the fact that they're seeing that you share something associated with my name may trigger them to remember on the ballot that I can be trusted because they've seen that from you. It expands, again, that network of personal connections. I don't have 5,000 Facebook friends, but when we start to share and reshare, we can be reaching 5,000 people with that social media sharing. And again, I have a last but not least on here. As we shelter in place, connecting with friends and family has become really important. And I know that I notice a lot of things about my Facebook feed. And what I notice most is things that look a little bit different. And so then thinking about the content that people might be engaging with, what they might be seeing on social media, and how does sharing something like this fit into people's experience of quarantine? My goal for shares and reshares is 3 to 5 shares per day leading up to the election. And I really am hoping for shares and reshares where there's a personal message from the person sharing. When I share something and you just hit the share button and it doesn't have anything from you, people are actually less likely to look at it and engage in it. And so writing a sentence about why the thing that you're sharing speaks to you or how it feels relevant to you in relation to a school board race is incredibly powerful. So in conclusion, let me know if you need a sign or a bunch of signs to share. I'm happy to come drop them off to your house, to your friend's house, to your family's house, to your neighbor's house, wherever we need to bring a sign. We're not in danger of running out anytime soon. I can't wait to start to see those statements of support. If you're interested, let me know, and I'm happy to provide whatever resources you would need to get going with that. And I really appreciate those social media shares. Our goal from the campaign side of things is to share something every day on social media. The more that you can reshare those with a personal message, the better. And win or lose, once all the restrictions are ended, we can all get together in person again. Everybody who does one or more of the following is going to get invited to a gathering of of supporters with cheese and wine. And so if you place 5 or more signs at your house and or other people's, if you write and share a statement of support, or if you share 5 or more social media posts with that personal message, you will be invited to this gathering of supporters where we can all relax and celebrate the lessening of restrictions as we come out of quarantine. Again, I'm Chris. I'm running for school board, and I would love your support.